Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the free to play. So, today's episode is probably going to be pretty short for a couple of reasons. One, I honestly don't have that much to talk about. And uh, two, I just had a really long day, and so far today, I've just kind of been enjoying myself, relaxing a little bit, which has been nice. Um, and so, I did want to take time to make a video to at least put something out there, just so that you guys know I'm not like, forgetting to make videos or forgetting about y'all or anything like that. Um, it does look like with the Titan event that I'll probably be getting the Void Shard. I'm very close to that. Only need, we still have a week left of opening those packs. I don't know what happened, and I'm sure this happened to you guys too. I had two of the small packs today. I just already opened everything, so I didn't think to talk about it. But I got 40 points today for snow points, and that was on both of my accounts. So, yay, that was interesting. I was just like, wait, why do I have two of these packs to open? One was a regular pack, and one was a small pack. Um, but I opened both of them, and I got the resources. Um, so I thought that was interesting. Elsewhere on the account, Tag Team Arena, we're still doing good. So I just now bought my shards. We're at 50 something shards, I think, going towards Drexstar. So we're making progress. We're over halfway there. Obviously, we've got 60 on Yannicka. We'll be 65 on Tuesday. I've been going slowly on your Carl. Now, this is mostly because I don't want to risk not having those points later. But with this being a Clan v Clan week, this is definitely the week to pick them up. Or sorry, we're about to get a Clan v Clan, and I'm at over 1,000. So I've got plenty of room. I can buy all of these, and I'll definitely have enough next reset for Yannicka, who yeah, so right now, let's assume that everything keeps going in the direction that it's going regarding my luck. Let's assume I don't get any other characters other than these free legendaries. We don't want that to happen, but let's assume it does. That would be worst case scenario, right? So worst case scenario, Yannicka would be my second nuker on my arena team. So my arena team wouldn't change much. We look at my current arena team and its setup. It's a speed-based team. We go first. We use the greatness of Deacon Armstrong to decrease their defense and increase my turn meter and decrease their turn meter. And then we get increased attack and we go through the nukes. So Kale, while he does the most damage right now, let me find a team that I can beat so you guys can see the damage that he outputs. As long as we win the speed battle, I think we win this one. Either way, we'll see the total damage. So Kale just has the better gear right now. Um, and honestly, it's kind of a mistake on my part to put the better gear on Kale. Yeah, you'll see he hit very, very hard there, more than my son Wukong. Um, I really don't need Kale to have that good of gear. I need to move that gear around. And I know we've had the opportunity. I literally, I wanted to see what kind of damage we did, and I just clicked through. Um, the Sun Wukong still hits hard, but as you can see, Kale kind of hits just a little bit harder. Yannicka would be able to fill out that roster. The weakness that I get from Yannicka, interestingly enough, is that she is a spirit affinity as well. So we would have a very heavy spirit affinity team going into arena, which could be detrimental to us if we're facing a bunch of magic affinity teams. So, but she is such a powerful nuker. So if we look at the damage, nope, Sun Wukong's still doing more damage. It feels like Kale does so much, but Sun Wukong does more if he gets those turns. Either way, I do want to improve the damage output from Sun Wukong. He also survived where Kale died, so that's a factor as well. But I wonder if there's a team that I can beat without them getting a turn. If this Geomancer is really fast, I probably lose here. Nope, okay. So he got 2 turns there, so he'll probably do more damage. Nope, still Sun Wukong doing more damage. All right, so it just maybe it feels like he does more because he gets the killing blow, but Sun Wukong is the one that's really taking them down to that point. So okay. Anyways, what I was saying though is that Yannicka would come in as the second nuker once I would get all the fragments for her. Um, that's kind of what she's used for. She's a good Well, she's a good nuker in general. AoE nuker, so she would be good in PvP as well. Let's see. Yeah, attacks all enemy, ignoring shield buffs. She can also remove the shields in certain if she has her perfect veil up, which she will because this grants an extra turn when she's ascended. So, yeah, and I know that she can hit pretty dang hard, so definitely would be my PvP nuker. Now, of course, we could get somebody else along the way instead. I'm just saying that that's a worst case scenario if I don't get a better PvP nuker to fill out that spot. Now, also, I would consider Dark Elhaine as well. She does hit quite hard and has a self buff increase attack, which is nice. Now she doesn't get as much of the benefits when it comes to ignore mechanics, but she does hit pretty hard, and could definitely fill out that route. Now we may have some other champions on the roster that could fill that out that I haven't really looked at too deeply. None are immediately coming to mind. I'm mostly looking at epics here, not necessarily. I don't know much about Canoness, so I just thought I'd take a look at her kit there. But and I might have some champions that are in this roster that I'm just not giving enough weight to or considering as far as PvP goes. But just kind of a brief look. None of them are standing out as any of the epics that I hear great things about. But I do know Yannicka would be able to fill that spot. So, okay. What was the other? Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was silver. I've been getting a specific question repeatedly about, hey, how do you have so much silver? And I know I answer this often on the account, but I kind of wanted to keep answering it because I may get new viewers. I may get viewers that forget what I've said, but ultimately, I'm just very conservative with my silver. What does that mean? Like, words are one thing, but what does that mean? Well, take a look here. You can see that my Venomage, I don't have anything taken above 12. I'm also not using my Venomage now, so why does he have gear on him at all? Well, for Faction Wars. So, I'm not using him right now for anything important because he doesn't have the books in the places that I want them to land. I am waiting to put those books into him during Clan v Clan. But I won't take anything beyond 12 unless it really, really benefits me in some way. You'll see here, in the case of Sun Wukong, all of his gear is 16. Now, the only piece of 4-star gear that is above 16 are these crit rate gauntlets, which I needed at the time that I built him. One issue with building these 4-star gauntlets, it's kind of trapped me. It's kind of backed me into a corner regarding his build. I can't upgrade these to better crit rate gauntlets because then other parts of my kit become worse because then I have too much crit rate and not enough crit damage. What I really want to do, and what I'm waiting to do, is to get crit damage gloves on him with a substat of crit rate that roll high into crit rate. You'll see that these ones would be perfect, but they didn't roll into crit rate. Also, you would want to see attack on those as well. So these would be the best gloves that would fit on him. They only have one roll into crit rate, and it's not a lot. It's only 8%. So we're losing 32 crit rate. I need to find a place to make that up on the rest of the kit. And every single piece of gear that is on him, other than this helmet, has crit rate. So this is a piece that I should take to 16, and so I will right now. We're hoping to get that extra bit into crit rate there. Resistance is okay. This is still a good piece. It just means that I need to get more crit rate rolls on other pieces of gear. To be completely honest, this Killstroke piece should be reworked. Now, why do I say... Well, okay, we're getting off topic here. Let's first answer the question about silver. So I'm very conservative with my silver, meaning that I don't upgrade something unless I think it's going to be a really, really good piece. So the best thing that you're looking for are speed boots. You'll see most of these are 12. A few of them are 16. I'm not taking anything to 16 unless it's 4 stars. I'm sorry, 5 stars or higher. Now, these particular boots, how would I want to use these boots? Well, they're stone skin and they have speed. So if I find a character that I want to put into stone skin, meaning a PvP specific character, I would take these to 16 just to get them the speed out of it, not really worrying about the other stats. If you're building somebody specifically in stone skin, other stats matter, but you're probably not as worried about those stats because you just want that champion to not die. Whereas like these boots here, I care about the substats. And the reason I'm mentioning here, I look at this set of boots as a stone skin specific set, while this I look at as a stat stick, because you're getting rolls in different areas. Hey, there's crit damage right there. We were just talking about needing crit damage, right? So that I could replace or upgrade these. There's a lot of different ways to look at gear, but what my point is that I'm very careful what I take to 16. So no 4-star pieces on my account. Let's take a look at what 4-star pieces I have on my account, and we can analyze how many of them are level 16. So let's just so you guys can kind of see a frame of reference. So 4-star gear equipped. So these are going to be crit rate gloves. Yep. So at the time, these were the best pieces that I could get on my account, and I needed that crit rate. I needed a maximum amount of crit rate. Here, this was the chest you get by default, like really early in the game for lifesteal gear. I took it to 16 because I needed that extra bit of attack to make my Kayle stronger. Okay, so those are 2 pieces that I took to 16. These boots got taken to 16 because I probably didn't have any when I went to build her to test her out. Those are on Selenia. And then these boots got taken to 16 because at the time I didn't have any better boots for Eris. Obviously, we've already talked about these gloves. It's the same thing with these boots for Husk. Didn't have anything better at the time because we got Husk very early on the account. Now we're at a point where we have a bunch of rares, but so I don't take anything 4-star to 16, and the stuff that I take that's 5-star to too high, like The stuff that I have that's 5-star that I actually take to level 16, if we look at 5 and 6-star gear, you'll see I have a lot of it. Some of it has been taken to 16, but look at how good these pieces are. You have crit rate, you have attack percent, and crit damage all on the same piece at 5 stars. That is a great piece to level up, regardless of what type of it being lifesteal gear. Same here. Crit rate, crit damage. Now, the rolls aren't great. A lot of speed on it and attack. I would really love to see some rolls into crit rate and crit damage. But, again, even here, speed boots that I've only taken to 12 just to see what the rolls do and to know that, hey, this is an option should I need it for a champion that I want to be fast. Look at all these pieces of gear that are 12. I'm not taking them beyond that, especially not epic pieces. I'm just rolling these to see where they land. Here's a situation where I have a lot of crit damage, which could be something that a champion. I could see myself putting this on somebody that runs 5-star crit rate gloves or 6-star crit rate gloves and needs to get that extra crit damage elsewhere on the account. Or just in general, someone that runs crit damage gloves and gets high crit rate rolls, and we manage to get other high crit rate rolls from other pieces of gear, like this Killstroke shield. So, but yeah, I don't really... Why is 12-star the magic number? Well, let's find a really good piece. Let's try that. Let's find a really, really good piece that I would be happy to take to maxing out. So we want to look for gear that has crit rate, has crit damage. We don't care about the primary stat. We're just looking at substats right now. So we're going to take a single piece from 0 all the way up, and we're going to kind of do a rough analysis of the impact that it has. I just want to check for any cruel gear that would fill this out. Wow, this is a great piece. Since I found it, we're going to go ahead and go with this piece. Let's real quick talk about why this is a great piece. Cruel set is a PvP, well, sorry, not PvP set, but Cruel set is a defense ignoring set, which is good. You want that on your damage dealers, right? You want to be able to do more damage. You do more damage if you can ignore the defense of the enemy. You also get 15% extra attack, which is huge attack. And since a lot of the nukers in the game, there are defense-based nukers, but most of the nukers in the game are attack-based, especially the ones we're working with, Sun Wukong and potentially Yannicka and Kale, who we already have. So attack percent is great to see on an item like this as a substat, and then crit damage and crit rate. So if we upgrade to level 4, it'll tell me, hey, we spent 6,300 gold or silver, right? That's not a lot. That's reasonable. So now we go up to level 8. Well, how much did it take to go up to level 8? Well, now it took 27,000 silver. That's a lot more silver, right? And that's honestly not great. Like, I feel like that's on the high end as far as how much silver. Now we go to 12. 166,000 silver. You guys are seeing now the drastic jumps between 4, 8, and 12. So now, because this is, and I'm going to go into more detail on this in a second, but now, for the sake of the video, we're going to take this piece to 16 and see what it does. And we're also going to look at how much silver. We almost spent 1 million silver. It was 967,000 silver. That's almost 1 million silver just to go, not leveling up an entire piece, just to go from 12 to 16. That's why I think 12 is the magic number. And what you're looking for in that 12 is where the rolls are landing. Now this looks bad, but it's actually not that bad. While I would love to see this get more rolls in crit rate and crit damage, we have a triple roll on accuracy. That has value for other champions. This is going to sound crazy because a cruel set, you may be thinking attack-based champions only. This could be a potentially good item on someone like Armiger. reason I say that, Armiger needs a lot of accuracy, but he also needs crit rate, because Armiger's big special ability is that he decreases the turn meter by an entire 30%, which is a lot, but only if the attack is critical. So you want to have crit rate on an Armiger. Now, I don't have any other turn meter control champions beyond my Deacon Armstrong. Well, technically, Geomancer does on his A3, but we're really not looking for the turn meter depletion there as much as we are for Armiger, where that's what we want out of him. Now, he does offer good enemy max HP damage, which is great, but a lot of times, at least in my experience, I tend to turn this off because all I want Armiger to do is the turn meter control. Just get be fast, accurate, and full crit rate. So that weapon had 10% crit rate, so we only need 90% more crit rate. We can probably get 50% out of gloves. That makes it pretty achievable, plus masteries and everything else. And then we want speed and accuracy, and we have that accuracy on that item, so it's still a good item. On the flip side, what you can do with that, which is an important thing to think about, that I've never really experimented. I've been talking to I don't know if I made a video about it or if I was talking to some clan members about, like, when is it good to re-roll gear. In my opinion, and there's probably videos on this, to be completely honest, I have not watched any videos talking about when to re-roll gear. Now, I do know that I've seen Hell Hades on his channel level up gear to 16 or maybe even 12, re-roll it, and if it didn't re-roll well, sell it. And I think he's doing something specific, but I've been only watching that kind of in the background, not paying attention to it. So I would recommend, if you want the true, like, best way to approach re-rolling gear, I would recommend that you go look up a video and find that content, so that you can do it correctly. For me, the way I think about it is that it's best to re-roll. And again, I know you guys are probably going to want to come at me in the comments. I'm telling people watching right now, there are probably I say official, but there's probably videos dedicated to this topic. I would strongly recommend Googling, YouTubing, finding those videos, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't researched it myself. I'm just doing what makes sense to me. It makes sense to me to use rerolls mostly on weapons, helms, and shields. My theory, my thought process behind this is that if I was to reroll, let me think about a piece of gear that, let's see. Let me try and find a piece of gear that maybe didn't roll so well. Yeah, okay, so here's a perfect example. So this is an attack percent chess piece, but it rolled flat attack and flat HP on its 3 rolls that it gets as an epic item. That is not good rolls in the substats. However, it's an attack percent based chest in a really good set in Relentless. While it didn't roll the best, it does have some crit rate, it does have some defense, and a lot of attack. This could still be used on a character. If I were to re-roll it, there's a chance that it re-rolls into flat HP or flat attack or flat defense or resistance or accuracy, and it completely changes the landscape of the item. Whereas if I was to re-roll this helmet here, which has a triple roll in resistance, what I'm looking for is to see that triple roll land in speed, crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, defense percent, HP percent. I'm looking to see that roll into something other than resistance, for example. Um, Now this is a piece that I'm actively using. I like that it has that extra crit damage. So I'm not gonna toy around with it. But what was that piece that we just upgraded? I believe we just went off the substats and did crit rate and crit damage. We'll turn off equipped. So here it is. So we got a triple roll into accuracy. Now that's a really good piece. I'm not going to bother re-rolling that. But if there was a piece of gear where you get, man, that's another great a triple speed roll. You're always looking for triple speed rolls like that. Oh, okay. Let's take this to 12 and see what it does here. Okay. Man, I can't re-roll this. That's huge. That's so much crit rate. I'm getting really lucky on rolls, and it's making this video hard to make. But let's say, just for the sake of argument, because I don't have time to click through all of this gear, let's say that you were to get a triple roll into flat HP. Yeah, I don't really have anything. That's a good example. Maybe in the equipped. So let's say that you got something that triple rolled into flat HP. What you would want to do in that case, it's a weapon or a helm or a shield. Yeah, see, this is another good piece. I don't want to re-roll that. I'm trying to look for a bad piece that I could re-roll and not feel this again. Just so good. All right, but let's say you got a triple roll into. This would be a good one. We're gonna take this to. We don't even need to take it to 12. All right. So a rare shield can only get 2 rolls, right? And this is an accuracy piece. We would want that to be a better stat line, right? So let's imagine that this is, instead of a rare piece, that this was an epic piece, although I don't know that I really want to waste a rework on it. So I don't think I can find a good example on my account, to be completely honest. But let's say you have a helmet. This would be a good example, but I don't want to use it here. So I don't want to lose this crit damage. But let's say that this was flat HP on this helmet here. Well, what you could do, but it's a triple roll. What you can do is, you know that no matter what, it's going to be flat HP main stat. And let's say flat attack then, because it can't do both. So let's say it was flat attack and you got a triple roll. Well, I just showed you all the ones that you where you want those triple rolls to go. You want triple roll into speed, you want it into percent stats, you want it into crit rate, crit damage, right? You don't really want it into flat attack. Well, because it's a triple roll and this number doesn't change, only these numbers do, you have a better chance of getting that triple roll into something good. I don't want to lose this crit damage. I really don't. This is a tempting piece to re-roll, because imagine getting 3 rolls and this is crit rate. Or this could be crit damage, upgrading or attack percent. You know, I could change the landscape of this gear quite a bit. But my point is that if you do it on a weapon, if you do it on a helm, if you do it on a shield, in my opinion, the odds are better in your favor to see those triple rolls land on a better stat line that you would be happy with. Now, could you go from flat attack to flat defense? Yes, absolutely. But the difference is, here, when you're talking about weapons, helms, and shields, I feel like the odds are better that you could get it to land on something more reliable. Here, imagine that I had on this attack percent piece, imagine that I had a triple roll here into flat HP, right? And I re-roll it, and I get a triple roll into crit rate. But then I get flat HP as the main stat. Well, now that piece is ruined. Yes, it has a ton of crit rate, but it's flat main stat. I'm never going to use it. I'm instant selling that. So in my opinion, I like using it on weapons, helms, and shields because the flat stat is going to be the same no matter what. The main stat, this line right here, the base in this case the HP of 4080. If I re-roll it, that stays the same. If this piece was not equipped, if I just found this in my inventory and it wasn't on somebody actively right now, because I just don't have enough pieces of this gear. Oh, I don't want just new. If we look at Killstroke gear, yeah, I just don't have enough pieces of that gear to make it good. Also, if we're looking at this, while it does have 2 rolls into HP, that's not really what I'm looking for out of this gear. So maybe I rework this piece and we see what we end up with. I'm throwing away a lot of HP. This could still be a really good stat stick for an HP based character. We also have speed and resistance. Like, this isn't a bad piece, I would say. It's not a great piece, but but I could re-roll it, and I'm going to re-roll this one just to kind of demonstrate it to you guys. Oh, boom. There you go. There you go. Now that piece went from being so-so to really freaking good because I have 19% crit rate on it, and that opens up a ton of options for crit damage gauntlets to go onto my Sun Wukong, and then I can replace this piece here with this helmet that gives me more crit rate to finish out the kit. Now, I would lose attack, but in reality, if you look at these two pieces compared to each other, I'm gaining crit rate, and really all I'm losing is resistance, which I don't really care that much about. And I'm also gaining speed and even a little bit of attack because of the flat stat attack, but that's not going to make or break the character. But so anyways, that's my thoughts on reworking gear. But overall, to answer the primary question that was asked, I love how my short video turned into a very long one very fast. How do I have so much silver? Because I'm very conservative with my gear. I don't take stuff beyond 12. If I take something to 12 and it rolls poorly, then I leave it there or I sell it. So let me see. You'll see like all the pieces on Husk here, because I never put him into action, are all 12-star pieces. So let's look at what are some of the best pieces of like quality on my account. I don't have any mythical. Oh, I do have some mythical pieces. Okay, here we go. A Killstroke with blah, 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 with that a mythical Killstroke piece, right? This is a good. I like that it got 1 free roll into accuracy. Yeah, you'll see. Like, I took this piece up to 12. This is 100% a piece that I should take to 16. I'm not using it on anybody right now. There's no reason for me to level it up. Crit rate gloves, interesting. Attack gloves, not a huge fan of attack gloves, to be honest. They have a use case. They really, really do. Just not on my account right now. Not to mention, we don't have, other than speed and accuracy. I love that that we have speed and accuracy on this piece, but on an attack percent glove, that doesn't. The characters that I want speed and accuracy on, I want them to be survivable. I want them to have deep defense and health. So, if this was a defense percent, perfect. But this Killstroke piece is fine. We have some crit rate on it. Would love to see crit rate and crit damage, but so I can take this up to 12. It cost a total of 442,000 silver, and we have accuracy and HP and a roll into defense. This piece is a great piece for a debuffer. This is something that I would want to put on my well, yeah, you know what? This would be really good on a poisoner, on somebody that I'm looking to land. Debuffs, obviously, right? I mentioned that, but I could see it as a piece that might be on a Geomancer or something. Would love to see it have a little bit of speed on it, but it did get accuracy and HP and defense. So if you're looking for like a support character, it would be a good example. Somebody that doesn't need to be fast, but you want to have, or like super fast, but you want to have a lot of HP. In fact, that might actually be a really good piece to put onto my UDK. You'll see it gives him more HP. I lose a little bit of defense, but that's because this one had 2 procs into defense and a glyph into it. If we take into account, if I was to max it out, then we would see this defense number go up, as well as getting a chance to get another roll on the defense or even on the HP. But this is a really good item for my, plus the extra accuracy, which I don't usually go for on a Death Knight, which I know he benefits from it, but I usually use him as a tank more so than a decrease attack / fear champion. But that's something that I wouldn't mind having on an Ultimate Death Knight. So this is a good piece. I like that piece. Would love to see some speed on it, but still, this is something that you could, as a stat stick, you could use. Maybe even a defense-based nuker, but it doesn't have that much crit rate on it. If they had accuracy, it's definitely something. Yeah, there's a lot of options that you could use that particular item for. But you'll see, I'm not taking it beyond 12. Took it to 12. Good. When the time comes that I'm going to use that piece, then I take it to 16. And I need to be using the champion. What I've done on my account, if you haven't noticed, is I've really just built out a solid 5-man team that does all the content in the game for me. It's the same team for every piece of content right now. And that's, not everybody can do that. Not everybody gets a Deacon and an Ursula and Geomancer. Those are 3 of the best epics in the game. Not everyone gets that. So I'm very lucky to be able to build just these 3 champions and then build around them. But I'm just basically focused on a team of 5. As I start to expand and do more of the game, then I'll start building out a lot more champions that can do other specific content, like a specific Fire Knight team, a specific Ice Golem team, a specific Iron Twins team, etc., etc., etc. So I need to cut this video short because we are already way over time, but by being conservative with silver and not taking stuff to 16 and only taking stuff to 12 where I can see the value in the substats, it's a big help. Lastly, the other way that I'm doing it is getting rid of items that have flat stats. So primary attack defense on these items. So, I didn't select it. Primary attack defense. Okay. So as you can see, I don't have anything on my account that are gloves, chest, or boots that are a primary stat that are flat. And if you look at my filters for something like Dragon, so when I run my multi-battles, I've got my filters. If we look at gloves, no flat stats, no flat stats, no flat stats. It does my job for me. On my main account, I don't even take bad sets anymore. But I won't do that here because I need stats. I need sets on my main account. I need stats here. So, And doing that helps get me the silver without having to go through and do a purge. So you may have a lot of silver sitting in your account that you're just not doing a purge and getting rid of all that bad gear. Um, so setting those filters when you do multi battles and things will help just populate your silver quicker. The last thing I want to mention is make sure you're farming on 12.3 brutal. Now, if you want maximum energy, you're farming on stage 6, or maybe stage 7, but that's not, I mean, Mortu Macabre can be a pain in the butt, so maybe you're farming on stage 6. But the reason stage 3 is the magic number is because, yes, you get a little bit less experience, but you get more silver because shields sell for more. And I think I just did a purge recently of all the curing gear on the account, but I do quite often miss the curing gear. You'll see I got one blue piece here, but I basically cleanse that of any gray or green gear, and that opens up my silver quite a bit. So wow, much longer video than normal, but I think there's some really valuable information in here. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. And yeah, I'm gonna call it a video. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.